Hey guys, my name is Rob, and today we're reviewing the new Scuf Valor Pro Wireless. This is an updated version of the Valor Pro that obviously features wireless connectivity and is compatible with PC, Xbox, and mobile. Based on the name, they're clearly focusing on the wireless functionality as the main difference between this Valor Pro and the previous one. But the updated model also features TMR thumbsticks, which is more exciting to me than the addition of wireless, especially since I almost exclusively play wired. So let's open it up and check it out. Really quickly, I do want to apologize for my voice. I've been under the weather this week, and as I'm sure you can tell, I'm still recovering, but I really wanted to do this review, so just going for it. In the box, the gamepad itself is front and center, but we're going to set it aside for a moment and see what else we have. Directly under the controller is the wireless dongle, which has the Scuf logo, but no pairing button or anything. It's identical to the dongle that comes with the Envision Pro. Under this insert, we have an accessories box, which has a few items inside. First, the USB-A to USB-C cable, which is a thick braided cable and includes a rubber tieback, but it is only a 6-foot cable. Then we have a smaller box inside the larger one, and this should have the back button block-off plates, which it does, and we'll take a closer look at these momentarily. Then we have a safety and warranty info booklet, though this is not a manual, just FYI. There's no physical manual included with the Valor Pro, which is fine since you can access it on scufgaming.com. And then I almost forgot the additional stick caps. We have one short and one long, and both have a convex design. We'll take a look at how to install these as well. Then finally, we have the gamepad itself, and I went with the black version. It looks nice, and the front faceplate is a soft touch material, and the rear grips are thick and rubberized, as you see on pretty much every Scuf controller. The Valor Pro Wireless has a nice weight to it, which I really like. I prefer heavier controllers. I can't recall what the weight was on the original Valor Pro, but the wireless version comes in at 290 grams. As far as features, we'll go with bad news first. The new Valor Pro still has membrane face buttons, which just isn't my favorite. I wish Scuf had went with microswitch face buttons like they did on the Envision Pro. The D-pad is tactile, and just like on the original Valor Pro, it's slightly smaller than a standard size D-pad, but not enough so that it bothers me, and I do like the concave shape. Next, we have the Endurance TMR thumbsticks, whatever that means. But regardless, I love to see Scuf finally implement TMR. They only very recently started offering Hall effect sticks in all their models, and now the wireless Valor Pro is the first Scuf to use TMR technology. I can't wait to try these out. Other front inputs include the Nexus or Home button, the Menu button, the View button, and the Share button. Then on the bottom, we have audio controls. There's a 3.5mm audio jack, and on either side of that is a scroll wheel, and both of these are actually multifunction inputs. Scrolling the left one controls volume, and pressing it toggles volume mute on and off. The right scroll wheel controls game chat mix, and pressing it toggles microphone mute on and off. Up top we have the shoulder buttons, which are pretty unique in terms of the shape. They wrap around the sides and extend pretty far down, and they're very easy to press even on the sides, so you can actuate these from the sides, which can be convenient, but there is some risk of unintentional presses due to this design. We have analog triggers, and I like the concave shape. I find them very comfortable, and I believe they're Hall effects, but more importantly, we have very nice micro switch trigger stops. These cut out nearly all the travel distance and truly have a mouse click feel, so they're fantastic. Then we have 4 rear buttons, and the outside ones are tactile switches, while the inside are micro switch. I wish they were all micro switch, but aside from that, they feel very good. It's still impressive to me that Scuf finally changed their rear button design, and after having the worst rear buttons available for years, they now have some of the best. Also on the back, we have the profile button, and then new to the wireless version, we have a mode switch. This has 3 positions. The left is Xbox, center is PC, and right is Bluetooth. The Valor Pro can be used wirelessly with the dongle in Xbox and PC mode, or wirelessly without the dongle in Bluetooth mode. In Bluetooth mode, it can be paired with mobile devices or with a PC, though I would strongly recommend using dongle mode on PC. It can also be used wired in PC and Xbox mode, but it will only connect to the Xbox in Xbox mode. Now we'll take a look at customization, starting with physical components. Like its predecessor, the Valor Pro Wireless has a removable faceplate. It attaches magnetically, so just pops off. And with the faceplate removed, we can change out the thumbsticks. Again, it comes with 2 additional thumbstick options, one short and one long, and both of these are convex rather than concave like the default sticks. I do like the design and I'm happy with the short convex stick on the left, but on the right I'd much rather have a control freak. Unfortunately, though Xbox freaks will fit on the default sticks, they make contact with the faceplate, so aren't actually usable, and they won't fit the convex sticks at all. So for now, I'm going with the short convex on the left and the long one on the right, though I wish the long stick was concave instead. Next, we can actually remove the inner rear buttons. So if you prefer to only have 2 or you feel the inner buttons are in the way, you can pop these off and replace them with block-off plates. These sit flush with the shell, and I think this is a great option. I'm sure some people would prefer to just have 2 back buttons, but I'll definitely be using all 4. There are also just a few settings you can customize. Short pressing the home button turns on the controller, and you'll notice the right indicator light is red. This light displays what profile you're on. You can change profiles by pressing the profile button on the back, and it cycles through 3 profiles, red, green, and blue. And you can program the back buttons separately for each profile. Once you're on the profile you want to customize, press and hold the profile button for a couple of seconds, and the profile light will flash to indicate you're in programming mode. You can then hold the back button you want to program and press whatever input you want to assign to it, and the light will flash white. The Valor Pro stays in programming mode, so you can go ahead and program all of the back buttons if you so choose. And once completed, press the profile button again to exit programming mode. Before I forget, in case you're curious about the left indicator light, it's actually a mute light. If you have a headset connected to the controller, you can press the left scroll button to mute audio, and that light will flash slowly. Or you can press the right scroll wheel to mute your microphone, and when muted, that indicator light will be solid. And lastly, as far as settings, you can enter calibration mode by holding menu and view while plugging in the controller. The left indicator light will flash red to confirm the gamepad is in calibration mode. And then there's a very specific set of steps to follow in order to complete the calibration. First, you'll move both sticks directly up, then return them to center, and then press B, and the color of the indicator light will change after each step. Next, you'll press both sticks down and then press B. Move both sticks right and press B. Move both sticks left, press B. Squeeze the left trigger 3 times, press B. Squeeze the right trigger 3 times, press B. Rotate both sticks clockwise 3 times and press B. And then finally rotate both sticks counterclockwise 3 times and press B one last time. This really is quite a process, but if you need to do it, these directions are spelled out in the Valor Pro tutorial on scufgaming.com. And that's all of the settings currently available, but along with the launch of this wireless version, Scuf also revealed that they will be releasing a companion app for the Valor Pro, which is going to be available on both Xbox and PC. Though it isn't available at the time of this recording, Scuf has shown off quite a few of the features that are going to be available in the app, including the ability to reassign other inputs on the Valor Pro besides just the back buttons, thumbstick dead zone customization, which is obviously a huge feature that we all want to see on every gamepad, response curve adjustment and customization, trigger dead zones and response curves, and vibration adjustment. So many of the settings that we typically see on modern third-party controllers. I do have some concerns that this won't be as in-depth as others, but even though it may be lacking in terms of options, I'm glad to see that we're going to have some software customization on the Valor Pro without resorting to IQ software, which is absolutely the least user-friendly customization app I've ever encountered. And I think I would honestly rather have limited customization options than reinstall IQ on my PC. Moving on to testing, we'll start with polling rate, and I checked this in several ways. We're getting 1000 Hz on wired PC mode, and unlike with the wired-only Valor Pro, we don't need to do a button combination to enable 1000 Hz mode. If the mode switch is set to PC and you're playing wired, the gamepad gets 1000 Hz. On Xbox wired mode, we're getting 250 Hz, which is not at all surprising. That seems to be based on direction from Microsoft to all third-party manufacturers. In Xbox wireless mode, we're getting 250 Hz, Again, that's what I would expect, so the only surprising thing is PC wireless mode. The advertising for the Valor Pro Wireless specifically said that it supports 1000 Hz in PC wired mode only, so I rather expected everything else to be locked at 250 Hz, but PC wireless mode is actually polling at 500 Hz. Unlike the polling rate, I had no definitive expectations regarding resolution. I was very much hoping it would be noticeably higher than that of the wired Valor Pro, and happily that is the case. I ran this several times and consistently got between 800 and 850 resolution, which is drastically better than the 150-ish resolution points of the old model. And then finally we'll look at Gamepad Tester. There isn't a lot to show here, as clearly the Valor Pro has default dead zones, and at this time there's no way to adjust it. It doesn't feel like a ton to me, but by far the biggest reason I'll be looking forward to the companion app is so that I can set the dead zones myself. The circularity looks very good. Obviously we have a rectangular algorithm here, and the shading is nice and even in each diagonal, so no concerns. But I do hope the app also includes the option to enable a circular algorithm as well. So conclusions. First and foremost, I do like the Valor Pro Wireless, even though I personally won't be using the wireless part. The addition of TMR sticks is a pretty huge change, but the $190 price is also a big change. So unless you specifically want or need a licensed Xbox wireless controller, it's a bit hard to swallow. And even if that is what you're looking for, it's still a tough sell. A few months ago, it might have felt a little bit more reasonable, as there weren't a ton of Xbox licensed wireless controllers with modern features and options, and all of those were just as expensive. But that was before GameSir decided to drop a $100 wireless Xbox controller. I'm not saying that the G7 Pro is definitively better for everyone, as I'm sure some people may prefer the Valor Pro, but it is absolutely a better value. That said, there are things I prefer about the Valor Pro, mostly just that it's significantly more comfortable to me. It feels much larger in hand, which is good for someone like me who has large hands, and the ergonomic grips are fantastic both in shape and feel. Of course, the ergonomics are identical to the much cheaper wired version, so unless wireless is your main concern, we're back to the other big change, which is the sticks. I can't say that they feel as good as those on the G7 Pro, which is the only other Xbox licensed gamepad with TMR sticks, but it's also hard to judge in the Valor Pro current state, because they'll almost certainly feel noticeably different once the software is available and the dead zones and response curves can be customized. Based on how quickly Scuf provided the 1000 Hz update on the original Valor Pro after its launch, I kind of expect the Valor Pro companion app to arrive sooner rather than later, and I fully intend to make a video covering it as soon as it's available. So until then, I'm going to have to say final verdict on the Valor Pro Wireless is TBD. I hope this video helped you out, and if so, please subscribe if you haven't already. Likes are also appreciated, and I do try to react and respond to as many comments as possible. I'll be doing more reviews regularly, so I hope to see you back here again soon. Thanks for watching.